What podcast reviewer 37 describes as an indiscriminate hellish ride that I would not wish on my worst enemy. The industry's elite have said time and again, man, fuck those guys. Get ready, if your ears had butts, they'd about to be fucked. Welcome to the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show.
Oh, yeah. This is the business. Man, we got some interesting things to talk about today. My name's Josh. I'm here today with Adam.
Hello.
And if you enjoy listening to us, you can listen to us on all our podcasts at GameRageMagazine.com. Follow us on the social medias at Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok, at Game Rage Mag on Twitter/X. All Gas No Trash official if you want to follow Adam on Instagram and hear all the latest and greatest in musical musings and news. All right, now that that's done, man, I don't even know where to fucking begin.
Shit. I don't know, man. So it's tough to even think about how to compartmentalize what's happened this fucking past week, because if you've been listening to this specific podcast, you know that we've been striving for 1,000 streams across all our podcasts in total.
Yeah.
So it's been nonstop action from the beginning of May to this point, and I think it's all started. Shit. Well, I mean, we've been trying to put things together since the beginning of May, but then you told us our numbers weren't that great for this past week or whatever, that we went down a bit from 200 to 190 something.
Yeah, week 1 to week 2 basically was bad. Week 1 was pretty good. Week 2 was garbage. Probably likely looking back now, it was because we didn't really post anything on social media for a week. And that's probably what did it, because our numbers came back up week 2. They were higher. Week 3. I don't know if that correlates, but for whatever fucking reason, that was the week 2 was down. So then we just said, nah, fuck this noise. And then we did week 3. We busted ass. We fucking did a shit ton of stuff. Now we're in the final week. We're in week 4 of this month. And luckily, because of the way the days fell, week 4 has basically like 3 extra days in it of counting. So we are so fucking close. We're sub 100 away from getting to fucking 1,000 right now. And with the numbers that we did include for week 3, so for the first 3 weeks of the month, we have achieved over 900 downloads or streams or whatever you want to call it. So we're at sub 100 to get to that 1K goal that we set. And I can fucking taste it, man. It's so fucking close. It's right there. And I think we talked about this on No Party Preference, and I wanted to bring this up here, that first principle fucking mentality, man. Parsing everything down to the lowest and most basic form of its truth, and then working our way up from there. And I think that we kind of did that inadvertently in the way we formulated this whole system, with taking the problem of wanting to do a podcast and, okay, well, they say that old saying of, well, everybody has a podcast. I mean, yeah, that's not necessarily true. Not everybody has one, but yeah, there's a lot out there. But we broke it down and said, okay, most podcasts die after or before they even get to episode 5. We have 15 podcasts right now that have at least 5 episodes. Obviously, Without Censor is the only one that we don't have 5 on, I think. Actually, I'll take away Star Wars because there's only 4 technically for that one. So let's just say we have 13 or 14 different podcasts that have exceeded that 5 episode minimum of podcasts like not making it, right? And we sat down and I at least said, all right, instead of making one podcast that doesn't appeal to anybody, we made all these different fucking podcasts that have their own specific thing that people appeal to. And I hate saying this, but I also love saying this. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't fucking lie. You can't fucking tell me that within, let's see, we first posted, let's just call it September. It was maybe like a few days before September 1st, but let's just say we put shit out September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Now this is going to be the conclusion of May when we do these final numbers for May. So in 9 months of existence, we have hit essentially, well, I don't want to jinx it, but we will hopefully hit the 1,000 streams in a month.
It's not a question of if, it's fucking happening.
It is, but listen, I'm also one of those superstitious assholes and I don't want to jinx it.
Nope, it's happening. Nope.
It's happening. Nope, it's done. It's too late. You're right.
Already spoken into existence. It's written on the wall. And now we're speaking it on this podcast. I think if anything is, maybe we're confirming our biases here, but I'm buying into your belief that putting things down on paper makes them real. Yeah. I don't know if that's magic or not. But it doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. I fucking buy it. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, man. And honestly, I really think that the best decision we ever made was buying these fucking stupid boards and writing shit on them. I don't know why.
You don't have to understand why. It works.
It just works. I can't explain it, but it fucking works. And the best example of this working is the fact that we were sitting here just 4 days ago as we were recording our Sunday night into Monday morning sessions, and we were plotting and fucking maneuvering and fucking conniving the plan of how we were going to release this excellent footage that you recovered or that you took of a baseball game, of a local high school baseball game.
Yeah, I already felt like I don't know why I call it this, but I just call it bullets in the chamber or creating I don't know what we call points of failure is what we're calling it. Is that all these episodes are the things that we create. We're creating multiple points of failure to say that, well, if you only have one podcast, that's all you have. We have 15 different podcasts that can fail. We only need one to succeed.
True.
And if we were only doing one podcast and it wasn't going well, we probably would have quit, or we probably would have ended up falling short of whatever we wanted to do. But we also been brute forcing.
Yeah, true.
When we're met with an obstacle, we just go, we're like, fuck that. We're going to go 10 times harder now.
Oh, you're going to tell me I can't do something? Well, now I'm going to do it to the fucking maximum. The literal physical maximum that we can do. We did this. And that's what happened last month at the end of March. When we had our lowest month, we looked at each other and we were like, literally, it was 9/11. The March of 2024 was the game rage 9/11. And we looked at it and said, never again. And we just invaded a country now. Next month, and now we've taken it to the next level.
Actually, the thing that hit harder was finding out that the 120 streams that we got.
That was our 9/11. You're right. That is our 9/11.
March was more of the Boston bombings, and then
April was like, man, it was so good because we fucking doubled our numbers from the month before, but 100 of them were a lie because it was this anomaly with that fucking.
We don't know what it was.
We don't know. Bottom line is we've thrown it in the trash. It's discounted. It was an anomaly, and we have removed it from the fucking equation because we said, even if we destroy the anomaly and we remove it, hell, you could even include the anomaly. we have exceeded April's fucking number so far. Even if you include the anomaly, we've exceeded it. So it goes without saying that writing shit down, because I wrote that on the board because we were saying it, we were talking it, that man, that video clip that we put out, it's going to be the thing. This is going to be the thing. This is going to be our point of no return. And
I felt like it was. Even when I was there, I felt like, because it was the Dodger thing, it was the Shohei Ohtani thing, because I felt like it was interesting. And then this fucking baseball thing, I'm like, okay, this is personal to us.
yeah,
This is personal to me because we both went there. And I love baseball, and these guys kick ass. And I went out to the game, and I can't say why I ended up sitting where I was at or what the fuck it was, but all I really have to say is that we continue to snowball in the right direction. There's just too many things going, too many synchronicities that are happening within the last 2 weeks. And this felt like the start of it. Or, yeah, I guess you could say that was the start of it. Everything has been prologue to these moments.
yeah. And so I said, you know what? I said, fuck it. Let me watch this. And I wrote it on the board. I said, that video clip is going to be the thing. And that video clip did fucking excellently well, but it became the thing because it led to the other things that happened later in the week of reposting other portions of it and posting other videos. The video got reposted by the fucking high school. It got fucking all these. Now all of our stuff is starting to increase in, I don't want to say value, but in the numbers that it's showing because of that one fucking video clip. Now we got all these eyes looking towards us.
The worst part, the worst or best part, whatever you want to call it. So I posted that and I tagged the players and stuff. And I even tagged the high school to let them know that this video clip existed, which was a home run that was hit by Sam Burgess, one of the baseball players for Corona High. And I don't know if it was the angle that I got it or what provoked people to be interested in it, or maybe it was the way I presented it. I actually put some time into how I laid out the video. There was, the score itself, the two teams, their crests or their logos, and then the headline, which was Sam Burgess 3-run bomb. And I wrote some caption for it, and apparently it was enough. It was enough for most people to share from the baseball team's account. For some of the players, they found it interesting. They commented, or rather they liked it. But the one that really took off that I didn't really expect, because I didn't tag anybody. I just put hashtags and I just put shit down. I didn't tag anybody on that one. I just wanted to see if it would get out on its own. And it fucking did. And it's still continuing to go viral for whatever reason. And now players from the high school football team of Corona are sharing it. And people from the team itself have commented on the post. We got one of the kids, I think it was Trey Abel from one of the sons of Dino Ebel for the third base coach. He commented on it. Seth Hernandez, fucking other players within the team started commenting on the thing, and then they turned it to a little bit of a debate or a hot topic about how some of the players are transfers, and we got into an argument. And controversy ultimately creates cash. I said inflammatory things in this video. I said fuck Harvard Westlake, and I don't know why I posted this clip, but I felt like if something was going to have a chance, it was being offensive. It was saying fuck these guys, and the school liked it. I know they won't share it because it's too inflammatory, but the players fucking loved it. And I fucking love that because I know deep down they really wanted to do that shit at the game, but they didn't have to because Sam Burgess hit a 3-run bomb and they put 2 more runs on the board to close out the game. And then Ethan Schiefelbein closed he put up a 2 hitters. So they didn't have to do that shit to clap each other's hands and to chirp from the dugout. And I posted that clip and people loved it, dude. And that ultimately led to the likes, the comments, us getting in an argument with one of the people in the comments. And I don't really care if they were, I don't really care if they're trying to be cute or funny or telling the truth that they are transfers. That shit isn't relevant to me. If anything, we were trying to provoke them so that they can write more comments.
Yeah, and well, it worked so well that they actually, I think, ran out of shit arguments to say because they were like, fuck, I got nothing. So then they just were like, oh, we're just messing with you, buddy. And so I thought that was fucking hilarious. And somebody did another person did make the comment about the fucking, the team being stacked or something like that. And they were talking about the odds or something. And I was like, oh, hey, it's not like, we called up the bookies and, we're trying to find out what the odds were or anything. And it's like, hey, who said anything about degenerate gambling on high school sports? Not me. Shh. Like I did a little emoji. And then that got a couple little fucking things. I was like, oh man, that's fucking so good. We get to be funny. It's fucking hilarious. We get to say what we fucking want. And
at this point, we're unapologetically us, dude. Like, I feel 100%. I believe what I'm saying, and I'm walking what I'm saying because I've done the work. I went to both these events. I knew they were going to be impactful, or talking about these things or experiencing them for myself. To say that Game Rage is attached to all things that matter, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line because Game Rage said so. But it's really fucking. I don't know if this is weird or what. Again, like we've talked about in the past, it's these weird synchronicities, right? This week we have this, I don't know, synchronicity of this thing that we covered, which, yeah, we both went there. That's something from our past. I played on that team personally, so that's an even more of a personal connection to this thing from 2 decades ago, essentially. And then it's going to lead, this leads into another weird, I don't know if it's a synchronicity, but this is also going to be me being super fucking toxic.
Serendipitous or?
I'll be serendipitous, but this is super fucking toxic, the shit that I'm about to say. And I am going to fully acknowledge that I am a piece of shit. All right. I don't want to hear shit from people about how you're an asshole. Yeah, I'm aware. I know that. And I don't know how this happened, but essentially, as I was scrolling through some of this shit and looking through, I get this fucking little notification that pops up, and it tells you, people you may know, right? And mind you, we've been doing this in the public eye for 9 months now, and I've never fucking seen this person pop up on our thing before at all. And I don't know what prompted it. If it's like, I don't know how that algorithm works where they show like, it says people based on if they look at your profile a certain number of times. I have no fucking idea. But this person popped up in our Who You May Know, and I think I've kind of talked about this person and I think a little bit on this podcast, particularly in the past, many episodes ago. I don't remember which one, so don't fucking ask. But it was one of my ex-girlfriends from the past. All right. And we'll just call her Cloudy. That was the name that I used on the last time I think I talked about her. So just so everybody knows, this is the same individual. Right. So this person popped up as a someone you may know. And I'm like, oh man. And a little piece of me got excited. All right. Remember, I've already acknowledged I'm a piece of shit and I'm a terrible human being for this, but I don't care. I need to get this out. So I saw the picture of this person, and the look on their face was one of it was misery. It was not enjoyment of life, it seemed, in their profile picture. So I said, oh man, I got to click on this shit. So I clicked on it, and obviously, their profile's private, so I can't see anything. But all that's up at the top is the little tagline, and it says something to the effect about like, it's some depressing ass line about, there's no such thing as a beginning. There's only ends. And it's like some fun. And I'm like, oh man, I immediately got excited. I immediately was like, there has got to have been something bad that has happened to this person. And now I need to find out what. I need to know what that is. So I don't normally give two shits. And I'll say this admittedly, I don't look up any of my fucking past girlfriends. I fucking hate them all. and they can all fucking die as far as I'm concerned, right? I'm unapologetic about that. And my wife loves it because she doesn't ever have to worry about any bitches I've ever fucked coming around and being friends with me because I hate them all. And I'm sure they all fucking hate me. So I haven't looked up any of them really since we've, broken up or whatever in however many years ago it was. And I'll say the last time I did this one, though, this one was different. This individual was like my first real girlfriend. She had been the longest relationship I had been in, basically post high school. And well, really up until I, was with Katie. We have been with Katie. Now Katie's obviously the longest relationship I've had. She took the mantle, and rightfully so, because we're married, I guess. Right. So, but this individual was the longest and had been kind of like the first love or whatever you want to call it, right? Or the first what you think is love. And so maybe like 10 years ago, like maybe even right before like I'd kind of got together with Katie, that was like the last time I looked this person up and just to see what their life was like. And she was married to some dude that was of the same ethnicity as her, being as I've talked about before, experiencing, which listen, it's no joke. I'm a fucking ginger white dude, but it's very hard for most people that are in my position to say they've experienced racism. Like I have experienced true racism from those individuals that were not the same ethnicity as me. And I've talked about it a little bit before from her parents and her family. Right. So I said, oh, great. This is like exactly what your parents wanted. You asshole. Like, sure. Okay, cool. Whatever. So I as I'm looking at this thing, I realized, oh, there's this just her in the picture. I was like, I wonder if that didn't end up working out. So as I'm investigating further, I end up somehow finding the guy who she was married to. And I'm looking at his profile and I see it's a picture of him. And there's pictures of him with some other chick all over this profile. And I was like, so, okay, confirmation pretty much achieved that they have now separated or divorced or whatever. And as I'm scrolling through, I see his photos, and one of them is of him and this chick, and it's like, oh, our engagement announcement, hooray! And I said, all right, for sure, 100%. My ex-girlfriend and this guy have ceased. So I get to this. I'm trying to figure out like, okay, how can I find out things? Because I'm Googling the name, doing all my like CIA fucking level big brain investigative techniques, and it's coming up short. So only thing I had found was basically like a LinkedIn page, and it kind of had the history. And it seemed as though she might have been unemployed for the last couple of years, is what it seemed like. And I was just laughing at that, and I was like, that's great. And so as I'm scrolling, I just decide to Google the username. So I Google it, and it pops up with some comments that were made on, lo and behold, some of these guys' this guy's pictures. So there's a picture of them. Of this guy and like a bunch of other people, and they're in like Hawaii or something. And it says, congrats to this person and some other name that I've never heard before. So I said, that's interesting. So I Google the full name of the person and this new name. And what lo and behold pops up is this this webpage from the knot.com, which is, the marriage. If you're getting married, you can have your own little free website on there. So I said, oh, okay, well, so this must be the new fella. So I click on that. And I don't know why I was doing this, because thinking, oh, well, whatever, maybe she's like happy now or whatever. Or maybe because I didn't see anyone in the photo of the profile photo. So, oh, maybe they're also divorced, and like she's been through 2 marriages, and fuck you. Like that's kind of what I was probably looking for. But what I felt like I found was even better than that. And so I click on this profile, and I see her, and this fucking dude, man, I shit you not. This dude's like 60 fucking years old. Like old as fucking dirt. And every picture of them, and I'm not judging people. I just want to make it clear. I'm also not judging people that are in those large age gap relationships. Sure. Everybody, you do you, Playboy, right? Okay, I get it. But they're not in one of those type of relationships where they actually like each other, because you can tell by the photographs that were taken at the wedding that they had, because they have them all up there. And it's like they're good buddies. Like fucking she looks miserable and like she wants to kill herself. And this dude is just kind of like awkwardly like barely touching her. And you can clearly tell that every opportunity she gets, like her shoulder is turned or like she's looking away. And I just fucking was like, yes. Like, it makes me so happy to see someone who fucking did me so wrong, so fucking miserable. And it also confirmed for me that I wasn't the problem. It confirmed for me that all the things I had thought about our relationship that she based on essentially monetary, and like her whole fucking goal in life was to make as much fucking money as possible and to be just rich, to be part of this upper rich class. And I mean, to go through her LinkedIn page and see like the fucking jobs that she's been in of, oh, you're getting into this world of like super elite and like rich people, right? And to see that now you're in your 30s and you literally you married a dude that's twice your age. And by the pictures, I know you didn't do that because you like the guy. You did it because I looked him up because his full name was on there. And he's a very high level individual at a company. I'm not going to say anything because fuck, the rich people will try to take us down. So I'm saying nothing about who it is, but this person is a very wealthy individual. Let's just put it that way. And I can see that that's what you did this for. You did this for the money. You did it. You clear. It's clear. It's clear as day to me. And it made me so fucking happy to see this person so miserable. And I also felt a little bit grateful at the same time and also in my joy and everything. I kind of felt grateful because I really fucking dodged a bullet, man. I don't think that if that relationship would have continued on, all I would have been doing is just been concerned and consumed by the motivation of getting as much money as possible to keep her happy, thus chasing the dollar and not fucking doing anything that I want to do, just doing whatever it takes to make as much fucking money as possible, right? And the more and more I think about it, the more and more I see now, looking back 20 years later or whatever, that we were so diametrically opposed in terms of what we need, right? Or what we are meant to become. She was meant to walk in that fucking circle, to walk amongst the elites and to walk amongst the big time rich folk and be in those circles, right? That's what she is destined for. That has consumed her life. That is who she became. And in doing so, has become a slave to that lifestyle. Whereas my movement or my destiny or whatever the fuck you want to call it is to be the exact opposite of that. It's to be as free as fuck. It's to be the freest motherfucker I can be to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And I wouldn't be here sitting now doing this if that would have continued. And it just makes me think back to, we've talked about on other podcasts, to tie it kind of in a nice little bow. We've kind of talked about how we get these things put on us by our parents and like we live their dreams, right? The dreams that they never fucking could complete because of one reason or another. So they kind of sometimes force them upon us. And it's like that old fucking Chris Jericho saying is man, he never really became himself until he stopped trying to be the next Shawn Michaels and started trying to be the first Chris Jericho, right? Like, I feel like this last year of us doing this, I've really like stopped trying to be my dad or live the dreams of my dad. Like, that's now, that part of me is now fully dead. And this I'm being me now. I'm being Josh. I'm being the first Josh, right? And looking back and seeing like this person, it's like I said, it makes me fucking so happy to see them. Oh, I love it. It just makes me feel so good to see them so fucking miserable. And it's a horrible thing to say, but I don't care. Fuck it. That's how I feel. And that is the proof in the pudding of my point of I can say these things. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can say what I want on here because I don't give a fuck. None of you people out there are going to tell me I can and can't say something, that I have to keep an opinion in my chest, right? And fuck, if it wasn't for us doing this thing and everything moving forward, I wouldn't be able to experience this in the way I'm experiencing it now. And this is why I think this whole thing was just another part of the synchronicity of me seeing that the past is the fucking past, man. Because I will say, I've been feeling kind of like, man, I still have this feeling of I wish I would have started doing this sooner. If we would have started this 10 years ago, maybe, well, fuck, look where we could be now. But now that this has popped into my fucking timeline now, I guess, this whole thing with seeing this ex-girlfriend of mine, it makes me realize that none of that matters. None of that fucking matters. All that matters is that we started it now and that we're doing it now, right? That's all that fucking matters. And it's something that everybody older than us tries to tell us things and how to do this and how to do that. And it's always just usually bullshit advice. I wish somebody would have told me a long time ago, stop fucking trying to live the dreams of others. Just do what you want to do. Just be you. And it's like, fuck, man, like you said, we get to unapologetically be us. And this whole experience that we had with this thing, it let us just be us. It let us be us. And it didn't matter if anyone fucking disagreed with us. It didn't matter if anybody was fucking trying to talk shit to us. We have no master. We get to say whatever the hell we want. We get to be as unhinged as we feel like. And what then led up to what happened this morning, which was fucking hilarious. And I won't name the names or anything, but I think this is fucking hilarious. If you know, you know, right? The school that we were talking shit about in one of the podcasts, for various multiple reasons, and we're just assholes and we like to be. It's fun for us. It's interesting. It's funny. We enjoy it. And we believe these things. This super ultra wealthy, well-off, popular, famous school liked the post that we fucking said of talking shit, literally saying, fuck this place. Adam said the words verbatim, fuck this place. It's good to see them get taken down a notch or something to that effect. But he said the words verbatim, fuck this place. Fuck, and he's in the name of the thing. And fuck these guys, these rich assholes. And they liked the fucking post. Now, I took a screenshot for receipts in case anybody ever tells me I'm a liar. And I'm so glad I did, because when I woke up today, guess what? It's not on there anymore. Someone told them, because as I predicted, everyone who follows them gets to see the things that they like on their timeline on the Twitter. And I'm sure someone sent somebody a mail or called them and said, hey guys, you might want to fucking not have the little like button pushed on this comment, because if you didn't listen to the whole thing, you probably should. And clearly they did, because they unliked it. So I felt like also being an asshole and tweeting at them and being like, hey, you assholes owe me a like. Why'd you fucking remove your like from this? Just to be a shithead and see if they even respond, which I know they won't, because they know they done fucked up, because they should have probably never fucking interacted with us at all. But that interaction that we got unsolicited, just for no fucking reason at all, that one single interaction made everything we've done so far and probably will continue to do, all the sacrifices that was worth it. That made this whole fucking thing worth it.
It was funny.
It was funny as fuck.
It's still funny.
It's still fucking hilarious that these multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars, this fucking entity that's supposed to be better than everyone else didn't bother to listen to the whole fucking clip.
Dude, that's the worst part, is that they watched part of it and came to their own conclusion about what it meant.
Yeah.
And I don't think they saw the whole thing and got the whole picture, because the fact that they liked it is confusing enough. Because, yeah, I just can't believe they liked it and they commented thinking that we were trying to be helpful towards them, or like, I don't understand that, dude.
It almost is mind-boggling to think, because I've sat here and racked my brain about what would be the reason that they, like, did they think we were trying to help them? Because I mean, I went back and listened to the clip like 9 times just to make sure that I'm like, okay, where's the point at which they stopped listening and just hit the like button, moved on? Because I don't think you're not being complimentary to them at all.
And no, not even, okay, pretty much through the entire duration of the video, I'm very explicit about how I feel about, which is very confusing because he says Goliath indeed or some shit on the comment.
Yeah, like he agreed with us.
Like, what?
That they are a Goliath. And I'm like, the fuck does that even mean? We haven't even responded to it because I'm like, I don't think that there's anything I could say that is as good or better than that comment alone. So I feel like we just need to leave it. Like, that comment just needs to be left alone. And it's just, the comment's still there. I don't think you can undo comments. So that's going to be there forever. But I just thought it was fucking great.
If we could just, oh my God, dude. Because I think we might have a player from the team to interview in the future, but I just want to ask if we could like hit up the fucking coach just so we can fucking show him like how absurdly stupid this fucking thing. Like, are we that 4D or are just people just stupid?
Yeah, are people just stupid as hell? like we. Okay, now I would love to take credit and say that this was a 4D chess maneuver and this was our plan all along, but this was not planned at all. And I don't think you could have planned this to happen. So yeah, when that kid comes on without censor, I'd love to just be like, all right, man, let me play this clip for you. And then be like, okay, now let me show you what they said. And then be like, what do you have to say? Like, what do you think that they meant? Because we're confused. We don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, are they agreeing with us? Are they disagreeing? Like that person who I was fake arguing with the other, like on the post, I almost wanted to fucking reply with that screenshot and say, see, look, I was right. They agree with me. Like, just to fucking be an asshole and be like, look, clearly I was right in the matter. Not to bring this up again, but I just would like to say, I think I was right. And just fucking look, they agreed with us. It's fucking insanity.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I still to this moment do not understand what that means or why they even like the video. It's so fucking confusing, dude. I really don't understand it, but man, the reverberations of this shit, it is something that is still it's still active right now. There's still people liking and sharing the video because I think deep down people really want to talk this way, dude.
Yeah,
they really. Because you kind of talked about it, and maybe this is something that we'll continue to elaborate on Chirping from the Pine. Chirping from the Pine, talking about parents that control their Instagram, their kids' Instagrams, or that it's curated. Because a lot of the profiles, or it's God, family, baseball, or some combination of that, where it's a lot of photos of them playing baseball at their school and achievements and accolades and all that stuff. And it's very rarely about the memes or dumb shit, like being what you said about being a teenager and just enjoying life and having fun and such. It's a curated version of themselves.
Right.
And what we gave to people was an uninhibited version of us, or for specifically an uninhibited version of myself. And I know deep down people really want to say that. I know there wasn't a large crowd at the Harvard Westlake versus Corona game. It was actually kind of negligible.
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it's because they have so much money and so many programs that they're able that they not everybody's going to pay attention to everything in baseball, maybe to a lot of people's whatever the case is. In principle, Corona, it meant more to us, not only by the players, but it also meant more to the fans because there was so many people there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was indicative of why they ultimately ended up winning, that the fans and the players wanted it more, but they wanted it more. And for all the money that I guess maybe that's where people misconstrued what I said about Corona being an underdog, because they were ranked number 2. There's no argument about that. On paper, they are the behemoth in ranking as far as national baseball, national high school baseball or whatever. But to me, whether this is true or not, whether you believe it or not, I mean, it's only for me. It's ultimately only for me. But I believe the fact that they have so many resources means, because I've seen that shit for myself, dude. When I played tennis in high school, when we went to Beverly Hills and we went to Hill or Woodcrest or whatever, when we went out to the ritzy areas of Los Angeles, dude, they creamed the floor with us. They had the best equipment. They had coaches. They've probably been coached since they were very young to be the best players, to go play at a very young age, to join the USTA or the ATP, to go become international players and shit. So they have the best. They have every reason to be the best. And yet they fucking lost because somebody wanted it more. And it didn't matter what the equipment was. They just fucking wanted it more. I don't know how else to put it, dude. And it's possible because of the scenarios that they live in that adversity has never been a part of their DNA. And for Corona, a public school, you encounter adversity all the time, dude. Like, you might get picked on at school. Like, that's probably something maybe you don't experience at a ritzy school. Is everybody's too rich to be bullying each other. Maybe it does happen. I don't know. But but for sure at a public school, dude, like, you encounter adversity all the time. So I think the team, what it ultimately came down to is that the team had fucking grit. That's all it comes down to, is that they had resolve. They've been in those situations, to whether that's through their own personal lives or even the sport itself. These guys have had everything handed to them, or they've had the best of everything from the get-go.
Yeah.
So that is why I said it was a David versus Goliath thing. And what ended up happening is that, they did blow them out. And where was the resolve from the team after that? It was dead.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of... We've said this a bunch of times, but it's turning out to be a fucking fact. Pro wrestling relates to everything. And I think that the fact that we said what we said, just like when people were watching the Attitude Era in the 90s, and they all wanted to give their boss a fucking stone cold stunner, right? They wish they could do that. They wish they could tell their boss or whoever an authority figure is to fucking suck it, right? They were living vicariously through that because they themselves could not. We are becoming wrestling. We're this is our first real example of it, of why I think this did so well, is because people get to live vicariously through us because they can't say it, but man, they're sure glad somebody did. They're sure glad that someone said what they were thinking. And whereas they have something to lose, we don't. We don't need to worry about any... Yeah, I'm sure the coach of the Corona team probably thinks exactly what we were saying. But he can't go post about it. He can't come on and say that. Because, well, that could cost him his job. That could, there's plenty of fucking things of why he can't say that. Or why the players themselves probably can't. Hell, I'm shocked that the players even liked the shit. Because, this is going to turn... Well, this topic is going to turn into probably the next topic on Chirping from the Pine, which is going to be about youth sports and this whole weird fuck, because that's one thing I've learned from all this, is it's very fucking weird with the way that the youth sports and social media has now become a thing, and it's very fucking strange to me. But for that specifically, you can listen to there will be a Chirping from the Pine episode about this coming up. So pay attention. You look out for that. But anyways, I'm surprised that the players were even fucking commenting on this shit or saying shit, because their profiles are very curated. The high school players, even though they're now 18, they're adults now, right? But their shit is still highly curated to portray this public image of perfection, of I'm a professional athlete, blah, yada, yada. And I think that one of the things that at least professional baseball is sort of missing right now is they don't have any balls. And I don't mean baseballs. I'm talking about they don't have any attitude. MLB needs an attitude era. And I think some of these kids coming in could have the ability to change the culture a little bit, to get away from this stiff, boring fucking, you know, and really change how the game is, if they so choose.
I will say one thing that ended up being rather interesting amongst the region we live in, specifically the Inland Empire, was that a lot of people were liking the videos from other schools that are adjacent to us. And I personally felt that there was a sense of camaraderie amongst the Inland Empire, the schools that are within the Inland Empire region.
Yeah.
The people that were liking the videos, because I think maybe in their head as well that this story, this narrative exists, that it is, we're so downplayed as far as regions in California. And I'm talking about Orange County and LA getting featured so much in everything.
Yeah.
That the Inland Empire is just a footnote mostly to everything else. And I've seen a lot of students and players from other baseball leagues or just schools, all liking it, dude, because maybe they feel that too, that we're being excluded from a lot of shit, man. I mean, I hate to tie in music because I don't want to be one dimensional. I think what doing Game Rage, what doing this has afforded me is that I basically get to sort myself out. I get to sort out all the fascinations or interests that I have for literally anything and put it into a podcast.
Yeah. And
to prove that I'm multifaceted. And perhaps this is how I should have operated pretty much since I was, as you know, I don't know how to phrase it, but unlocking your true potential, right? To be your uninhibited self, to sort yourself out. Like this is, I feel good about what I'm doing, and it seems like it's resonating with other people as well. I know this shit was inflammatory, but that's the fucking way that I felt, man. I'm so tired of hearing about Los Angeles and Orange County, about what schools and what teams are doing so well that they're atop the top rankings. And then we have Corona, who is now atop the charts. And yeah, I'm basically like an amplifier or somebody with a megaphone saying like, hey, everybody look at over here. Like, look what we're fucking doing. And we did it better than any of you. And hopefully that has created a little bit of pride amongst our crew of people in the Inland Empire to say, like, we don't need to fucking transfer or go to Modern Day, or we don't need to go to Harvard Westlake. If you keep it here, like if you can keep it here, if you can keep the players here, you know, we can be just as capable of being atop the rankings for anything or be relevant to literally anything. I know I brought up music, but the reason I say that is because when I read articles about a band like, let's say, Brain Story, who's from the Inland Empire, they're from Rialto.
Yeah.
When they are reported on, they are talked about as though they are from Los Angeles. And I think that's horseshit because they're from here, man. Like, they operate here. So it's just I feel like it's LA co-opting what's awesome about us and saying, or it's cutting us at the feet and saying that we're not relevant. So we'll just say Los Angeles because that's the area that people care about. If you say Inland Empire, who the fuck knows what that is? But there are great things here. There are great things happening here. And this was one of those stories. And I think that's why people care about it so much. And that's why it was so personal to me. And what I said meant so much to people, I hope.
Yeah. And I bet you if you look at some of the stories from other parts of California, because I'm sure this is getting reported on in other publications, maybe even some national attention, it probably says local LA team wins the fucking CIF Division 1 Corona. Local LA suburb Corona, a suburb of LA is probably what it says.
Or it'll say Southern California to be broad about the region that Corona or where Corona is, as opposed to saying Corona directly.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know. That's it's just something that makes me think about. I'm not trying to co-opt. I'm not trying to co-opt the victory of Corona itself, because they did all the work. I just said what everybody was fucking thinking. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just further ingrains that, much like we've said about learning from the mistakes of others who've come before us. And, you know, while we did jerk off Rooster Teeth for a while on some of these episodes, they fucked up, right? They had to muzzle themselves after they got sold or whatever the fuck they did, right? Now they're dead. So, yeah, sure, now they get to go and fucking say whatever the hell they want, but they haven't for 10 years. And I think that's something that we need to never lose sight of.
I was not personally, I did not. There are a few members of Game Rage that are enthusiasts of Rooster Teeth that say that their influence impacted Game Rage. I am not one of those. I will be explicit about that. Sorry.
No, that's fine, because, well, listen, that's the dichotomy of Game Rage, is we're not all one dimensional. And that's one of the things that I've said on even No Party Preference. Like, I don't want this whole thing to be an echo chamber. That's the problem with a lot of this shit, is everybody just wants to be agreeing with each other. No, I want there to be conflict. We almost need there to be conflict amongst ourselves for this to fucking work. Because if we all just fucking hunky-dory jerked each other off and agreed on everything, then this shit wouldn't be interesting. At least I don't think it would be.
Yeah, and I will say that Rooster Teeth, I'm not going to discredit the fact that they made Red versus Blue, which is hilarious, and I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it enough to give these guys props, because ultimately, objectively speaking, they sold out, and we're not nearly at their level of producing content, whether that's Achievement Hunter or any of the shit that these guys did after Red versus Blue. We're probably putting in, I don't know what the hours are in terms of what we put out in a week, but at the very least, we're putting 20 hours out every month plus. We've really been pushing ourselves to achieve new heights about what our bandwidth is for how many episodes we can do in a month. But I do not idolize Rooster Teeth at all, because in my eyes, in my mind, I think we've already surpassed them. Even if it's not in the numbers, I don't give a fuck. I don't have any idols anymore, man. I'm my fucking idol. Fuck Rooster Teeth, dude. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and honestly, that is something that I am starting to agree with. Like, yes, I'm cognizant enough to see where inspiration came from and where certain things came from, but it cannot be denied that in the almost 12 months of recording that we've been doing, in the first year that they existed, they were just doing basically Red versus Blue, right? They were those episodes were like 3 to 6 minutes, and they put out what, 12, maybe 24 in a year. We fucking put out more produced content in a month, and I understand it's different, but again, they use the excuse of, oh, we all had jobs, we all had this. Bitch, we got all these things too, and look at all this shit that we're doing. Hell, I would be hard pressed for them to say that they put out more podcasts than us in a month when they were able to do podcasting full time and do that shit as a job and get paid. I think we've put out more shit than they have in terms of like the monthly production of shit. And we're basically only 9 months in as being having content out there. And it's just, I never thought that we'd fucking be chasing 1,000 in our 9th month of existence, or of our public existence, I guess you could say. Really, if we're counting the last 2023, the year 0, and this is year 1, 2024, this is year 1. Man, we're only 5 months. This is 5 months into year 1, and we're 5th month of year 1. We're already chasing fucking 1K.
I never thought we wasted a second for this month either, or this year rather. Just thinking about what we've accomplished within the 5 months, even the lows we hit, as far as numbers go, that part didn't really bother me. I mean, sure, it got to me a little bit, but I still think about how much we accomplished even in the month of March to where we are now, where we're just flipping the script that every time we were met with an obstacle, we literally say, fuck that, and go 10 times harder, because I don't have those obstacles in my mind anymore. I don't think about, I don't know about if we can do this. I don't know if we can do that. I don't even think like that anymore. I just think there's a problem that exists. There either is a solution or there isn't. And we can deal with it or we can't. And if we can't, then fuck it. We can't do anything about that. Yeah. And if there is a solution, all right, the next time we do it, how are we going to turn that? How are we going to optimize that and make the solution even better the next time we go around? And it's just constantly evolving. And it feels like this month feels like the beginning of our propulsion onwards and upwards.
Yeah, I feel it. And like you had said, not that we weren't, whatever, bought in already, but like, oh, we're drinking the Kool-Aid now, for sure. The Kool-Aid is the only thing that I consume. I don't eat any other food. It's only Game Rage Kool-Aid. That's it. That's how I gain sustenance from the Game Rage Kool-Aid. That's all I'm doing. And like you said, like we said before, I'm all in. That there's nothing else. I was talking to somebody today about this thing, and they were just telling me, we were talking about something, and oh yeah, well, I hope that goes well, for you. And I said, hey, appreciate it, but I don't need your hopes and prayers. It's going to be it's gonna go. So I appreciate the sentiment, but it's not necessary, because it's going to happen. Just like I've said before, we are Thanos. Game rage is inevitable. And now we're starting to see it. Now it's where it was just a fucking pipe dream 6 months ago. Now it's looking like now it's like I said, now it's inevitable. The meteoric rise to the top. Who knows what the fuck that actually means? But either way, we're fucking doing the work. We're whooping everybody else's ass. And people are watching.
All right, that does get under my skin a little bit, is that we have all these people that watch but don't fucking contribute.
Oh yeah, that does anger me.
Because we have in equal amounts of us receiving from what I believe gifts from the universe. I have also been dishing it out. I've also been dishing it out, in equal amounts. And now, if I had to rationalize it in my own way, I can't look at people for help anymore.
Yeah.
Altogether, I can't look for people. I no longer can ask for help or depend on people. I'm not saying that to be antagonistic, but when I was talking about what success is, which is eliminating all possible variables and executing things to excellence or perfection.
Yeah.
I feel like that includes people. I hate to say that, but it does. Because I don't think the help that we want is coming from people. It's just these weird, intangible things that just come in. That's where I feel like we're being guided in the right direction. It's not so much people, but it's just these little fucking nods. I can't explain what it is, but I think that's where my mistake is that I think I have too much faith in people, and I just need to let that go and just make it about myself or whoever's involved with this, and just leave it at that, and know that the universe is just going to provide for me. I know that sounds really like astrological and weird and of the zodiac type of things. I'm not into that at all. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience about what I think life itself is giving me, and that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, no, it sounds a little cultish too. It really does. But again, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that we just keep pushing forward, put our nose down, do the work, have these little fucking hilarious things that happen to us. And I mean, look at it. At minimum, it was something that just gave us a story to fucking talk about on the podcast. And that's fun. That's awesome. And I can't wait to do the next episode of BFN that just says mission accomplished.
Oh my God. And we inch ever closer to 1,000, because even before we recorded this podcast, it turns out that we've gotten numerous plays, or the Chirping from the Pine episode has gotten numerous plays. So we are sub 100 and a little bit more than that. I don't know where that leaves us, but man, we're stepping towards fucking greatness. And by next week, undoubtedly 1,000 will be fucking hit, but it's going to be where we ultimately end up is the question. But I can't wait to come back here fucking next week and just pop off.
Yeah. Pop the champagne and fucking literally douse we need to make like one of those World Series videos where we were fucking dumping champagne on ourselves and just like, yeah, we did it. We fucking did it. You sons of bitches.
And talking about people one more time.
Yeah.
The Pete Weber thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. People aren't liking the video. Oh, actually, now it's starting to turn around, but there's a lot of people that watch, man. There's a lot of people that I see on my Instagram and even the Game Rage Instagram. They see the shit, but they don't do anything about it. And I'm like, that's why you're a fucking NPC, dude. That's why you're a fucking NPC, because you couldn't even do me the courtesy of helping us out, because we've contributed to you providing content and entertainment, and all you could do is watch. All right, fine. That's your role. That's all you could fucking do. There are people that fucking follow, and there's people that lead. And apparently we're the leaders.
Yep. It's that old saying, as I've said many times, there's people that watch things happen, and then there's people that make things happen.
And that probably sounds antagonistic, and maybe I meant it that way, or maybe I didn't. But regardless, as evil or as antagonistic as I sound, bottom line is I'm still being a benevolent force and still giving just as much as I fucking dish out hate or say inflammatory things. I really do. You people have already benefited from Game Rage Magazine, and I'm trying to balance out that fucking evil side of me.
Yeah, we're at least not just going full fucking dickhead fucking hate mode. All right, you know, we're giving out prizes, we're giving shit to people, we're giving away stuff to the people who support us. Now, yes, we have given away a couple of random, you know, drawing type situation things, but mainly the people who help us, who do shit that we don't even ask. They share the videos, they like the videos. Man, we didn't ask nobody to do that, and thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. That's something that does help us out. And as evidenced by this video and these subsequent videos that have been liked and reposted or shared or whatever, it has made other things get a boost because of that. So it's that fucking snowball effect. And the snowball is reaching the point of now its power. It doesn't need to have external power. It's powered by its own weight now. And it just keeps going down the hill. And then eventually the avalanche fucking gets you. And
yeah,
it's coming.
It's nice just getting that one fucking thing, which was these, well, I guess these two things, the Shohei Ohtani bobblehead and this Corona baseball thing. But now I question what the point will be for the Avalanche situation where it all just comes in at once, because I've heard my uncle say this weird thing about money is that the hardest part is getting to $100,000 and everything else after that is easy money. To get to $1 million, the hardest part is getting to 100,000. So I don't know how that translates to social media or even the podcast themselves, like what the stream number has to be in order for us to reach the Avalanche situation. But we hit the 10,000 mark. In my own terms, we've hit 10%. Now we got to get to the 90% to get to the 100,000, or to get to the 100,000 streams, or the 100,000 followers, or whatever the fuck it is. But this feels like the cue to be in the right direction.
Yeah, it definitely does. And oh man, I love this shit. That's all I can fucking say is I love doing this shit, man. I fucking love doing it, and I wouldn't fucking trade it for anything. I don't care if it costs us money, if it fucks us over, if I don't give a fuck. This is all I fucking care. This is what I want to spend my time doing. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get to that point where we can do this, and this is just be what we can do. But we're on the way towards it. Whatever that end point is, wherever that lies, we're on the way. I don't know where we're at in the journey in terms of percentage of it being complete, but we are definitely on our way. The train has left the fucking station. That cannot be denied. And we will not be fucking denied. And I think that's all I really have to say.
Yeah, I don't have anything more to add. At least we got to the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, that's all we were trying to shoot for anyway. But yeah, hell yeah. So anyways, fuck, man. This was a good one. I enjoyed it.
By the end of the weekend, I have a feeling we're going to hit 100. Whatever the number is to get to 1,000, it's going to happen this weekend. And victory will taste ever sweet once we celebrate. There will be sushi to be had.
Oh hell yeah, it's gonna be so good. I can't fucking wait. And yeah, maybe we try to get our first sponsorship of the sushi place. Hey man, can we just get some free sushi? Come on, man, we'll talk about you guys. Come on, man. Hey, shit. Well, that would make sense now because it's local. The thing that is blowing up is local. So who knows? Maybe we can fucking turn that into something.
We'll see.
Anyways. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Go to GameRageMagazine.com at Game Rage Magazine. All gas, no trash official. Check the shit out. I mean, you know the drill. I don't got to fucking tell you. But yeah, thanks for listening. And to those who help us out, thanks for doing the work. We'll continue doing ours. This has been the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, subscribe and like on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Also on Twitter /X at Game Rage Mag. Also visit our website, www.GameRageMagazine.com, for a host of other podcasts and more. Thanks for listening.